3, we see the Spinosaurus relentlessly hunting the humans across the entirety of Isla Sorna. For over 20 years, this has been debated by most of the fandom as to why the Spinosaurus relentlessly hunts them. And the real reason was something you'd never expect. Throughout the course of Jurassic Park 3, the cast for some reason relentlessly bump into the Spinosaurus. Wherever they go, the Spinosaurus seems to appear. Usually there always appears to be a motive. Take the Lost World Jurassic Park, for example. The buck and doe T-Rex have a massive reason as to why they follow the protagonists. They want the young infant back. Mommy's very angry. So no one ever questions why the T-Rex pair follow the protagonists around. And the same goes for the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park 3. No one questions that because it's quite evidently clear that the Velociraptors are chasing the protagonists because they want the eggs back. Because remember, Billy stole them because he wanted to sell them to fund his digs. But what is the real reason then that the Spinosaurus follow the protagonists everywhere around the island? Now, a very popular fan theory is the fact that the Spinosaurus follows the protagonist around the entire island because of the injury it sustained to its fin. Now, in a very early scene in Jurassic Park 3, they land the plane. Cooper comes running out onto the airfield, followed by the Spinosaurus as the plane is trying to take off. As the plane does eventually take off, it clips the sail of the Spinosaurus, and that's why you see the blood all over the windscreen of the plane. Initially, I thought this was the blood from Cooper, but it turns out to actually be from the Spinosaurus, which gets confirmed in this clip here.
Yeah, we were trying to take off, and we clipped the tail of a Spinosaurus, and he's mad.
Okay, let's take a look. Here we go.
Now, that does definitely give motive to a degree for the Spinosaurus to initially start hunting, but to completely follow them around the entire island, there has to be some bigger, stronger connection, much like the Velociraptors and the T-Rex pair, because we also know that the Spinosaurus is fiercely territorial. So why would it leave its territory and pursue the protagonist around the entire island? Additionally, the Spinosaurus actually wound up with two carcasses. One of that the T-Rex had killed, and also what the Rex had been eating. It would go against every instinct in its body as a carnivore to abandon such a huge meal and chase the humans, if it wasn't for another ulterior motive, one stronger than simply revenge on it having its dorsal fin attacked. Now, if you remember from my original Spinosaurus video where I talk about it being created by Biocen and InGen, we will know that it was mistreated and experimented on. It would have grown up in a lab, eventually escaped or let loose, and would have perceived humans as such as some type of threat, and having memories of being locked away in a cage, thus being afraid and not wanting that to happen again. Hence why he would chase them all around the island to dispose of that possibility and threat. Now, there is less evidence in this theory than there is for the dorsal fin, but it is definitely a possibility I don't want to overlook. And as I said earlier, we know the Spinosaurus is super aggressive because Eric says the T-Rex P actually attracts that of the Spinosaurus. And the reason the T-Rex P attracts the Spinosaurus, well, that's because the Spinosaurus is hugely territorial and will kill anything it gets the scent of, especially another apex. So is it possible then that it perceived these humans as another apex, another contest to his territory? I don't think it is as likely as the dorsal fin or the mistreatment, but it's definitely a possibility. Now, we all know of the mess that was the Jurassic Park 3's production and script, as they were continuously writing the script as they were filming it. It was a complete mess of a production. So the continuity and storytelling isn't really a strong point of Jurassic Park 3, or the fact that the Spinosaurus is following them everywhere, but there is a massive indication as to why they did follow it in the early production of Jurassic Park 3. Now, in an interview with Ricardo Delago, who worked on Jurassic Park 3 and was one of the writers and producers, he talked about as to why the Spinosaurus was so aggressive and as to how Cooper had blood all over his arm. But during this interview with Ricardo, it is actually said that the original plan as to why the Spinosaurus followed the humans around the entire island was indeed down to revenge, but a certain type of revenge. So let me continue to explain. The original plan and in the script was the fact that there was going to be a baby Spinosaurus.
And I do remember sort of volunteering the idea that, hey, maybe one of the Mercs kills a baby Spinosaurus, and that's